Now we move on to the second objective, that is with regards to hypothesis, conclusion, and conditional statements. Now, a conditional statement is a compound statement that consists of a premise. Really, we don't use this generally, we call it hypothesis. Okay, consists of hypothesis and conclusion, which is false only when the premise is true and the conclusion is false. Now, I'll give you an example. You must have if and then. This is very important. Generally, we will have this. Now, let's say, for example, Ahmed. If Ahmed is going to shop, if Ahmed is going to a shop, then he will buy snacks. So the hypothesis is after if. That is, if Ahmed is going to the shop, Ahmed going to the shop is the hypothesis. What is the result or the conclusion? If he goes to the shop, then he is buying snacks. So buying snacks is the conclusion. So this is the conditional statement. We will see more about this in related conditions, because in the problems they'll ask us to find conclusions and the hypotheses. So now, for example, the statements that are based on given conditional statements, when we are dealing with them, they are called related conditionals. Now, hypothesis, for example, of a conditional statement is the phrase immediately following the word if. And the conclusion of a conditional statement is the phrase immediately following the word then. So now this is very important. Now, when we see a problem, this all things will be clear to you. Let's directly jump to a problem. Now look over here. They have asked us to identify hypothesis and conclusion of each conditional statement. If a polygon has 6 sides, then it is a hexagon. So the most important thing to remember is the sentences after if, that is, if a polygon has 6 sides, and the sentence with the then word, then it is a hexagon. So what is the hypothesis? That is what you have to solve, right? Hypothesis is a polygon. A polygon has has 6 sides. That's it. The conclusion would be after then. So it is the polygon is a hexagon. So this is what it means. So now instead of it, we write the polygon. So you can see whatever is after if, a polygon has 6 sides. That's the hypothesis. Conclusion, after whatever is after then, it is, it means the polygon is a hexagon. That's it. So simple. Now we'll solve one more problem. Now this is not just simple as the previous one. So I would recommend you to pause the video now and try solving this. This is a bit of a higher order thinking. Take your time, think and solve. I hope you at least tried by pausing the video. Now we will solve it together. You can see, I had told you already, whatever is after if is hypothesis. You can see what is after if. That is the first one. That means we are talking about performance. Let me read the question first. Another performance will be scheduled if the first one is sold out. So we are talking about a performance. Another one will be scheduled if the first one is sold out. So whatever is after if, the first one means the performance. The first performance is sold out. But there is no then statement. So what do we do? See, look over here. There is a if statement. So we know this is the hypothesis. So the other statement than that is the conclusion. So all we need to do is see what is the conclusion. Another performance will be scheduled. So the hypothesis is basically the first performance is sold out. And the conclusion would be another statement, whatever other than if. So another performance will be scheduled. Similarly, you can try solving this. It's very straightforward. So we'll directly jump to the answers. Whatever is after if, the forecast is rain, is the hypothesis. Then I will take an umbrella. So I will take an umbrella will be the conclusion. So you can just see over here, whatever is after if, the forecast is rain, conclusion, I will take an umbrella. Over here, there is no then. So just like what we had done a while ago, a number is divisible by 10 if its last digit is 0. So now over here, what you must do, whatever is after if, the last digit of a number is 0. Over here, the thing is, because it's in continuity, we have just written in detail, but its last digit is 0, or a number's last digit is a 0. This is the hypothesis. So whatever is after this. Now the other sentence will be the conclusion. So what is the other statement? The number is divisible by 10. So the conclusion and hypothesis are found out. So hypothesis, the last digit of a number is 0. The number is divisible by 10. So this is how we can solve them easily. So now going to the next type of problem, we'll just quickly see this because we just now found out the hypotheses and conclusions. Now we write them in if and then form. They're just giving a statement. We write them. See, we need to identify hypothesis and conclusion of each conditional statement and then write this statement in if then form, basically in if form. So now 4 quarters can be exchanged for a dollar bill. Now over here it is very important to understand the statement. You need to write, you need to read and understand it. Quarters. Now if you don't know what is quarter, so dollar $1 is basically cents. Okay, so now 25 cent is 1 quarter, one fourth of a dollar. Okay, this 25 cent is called 1 quarter. If you have 4 25 cents, that will make 100 cents. So 100 cents means $1. So this is the thing. So how we have 1 dirham, instead of this let's just make 1 dirham. So 1 dirham is equal to 4 25 fill coins. So if you have 25 25 25, it's 100 fills, that is 1 dirham, just like that. So now what we need to understand is over here, see the first sentence, or when you read it you'll understand 4 quarters. That is the hypothesis, that getting a $1 bill is the final result. So that will be the conclusion. So hypothesis is you have 4 quarters. Conclusion is you can exchange them for a dollar bill. Okay, so it wouldn't make sense to say exchange $1 bill for 4 quarters. It's more likely that you have 4 quarters, then those quarters can be exchanged for the final result. What is that? $1 bill. So this $1 bill, the final result which you're getting will be the conclusion. The other thing will be the hypothesis. So that is how. Now this can be found out only by reading and understanding. Now then, what next? Write the conditional, the hypothesis, write the this thing, if then statement. Basically, hypothesis is after if and conclusion is after then. So if you have 4 quarters, then you can exchange them for $1 bill. So that is it. This would be the answer. So I hope this is clear. We will see one more problem like this. I kindly request you to pause the video now, take time, try to think and solve, and then you can see the continue the video. I hope you tried solving it by yourself. Now let us see over here. Identify the hypothesis and conclusion. Okay, the same question now. The sum of the measures of two supplementary angles is 180 degree. Now looking at the statement, you can say is 180 degree will be the final conclusion. So the other thing will be the hypothesis. So now look over here. This is means conclusion. So what is, ignore this thing. Sorry. Ignore this part. So what is remaining? Supplementary angle, two supplementary angle, right? So now two angles are supplementary. The sum of their measure is 180 degree. So when you see that, the sum of the measures of two supplementary angles is 180, right? So is 180 will come inside the conclusion. Whereas what is the other thing? Two supplementary angles is the hypothesis. So you know this is whenever you have two supplementary angles, supplement means 180. So their sum of the angle of the measures will be 180. This is how you can write them. Now you have to write it if then statement. So remember, hypothesis will come after if, that is, if two angles are supplementary, then the sum of their measures is 180 degree. I hope this is clear. If you have doubts, please try to go back, watch the video again, or write it in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Just that you need to analyze this given condition given statements properly, and then try to write the hypothesis and conclusion. To write if then statement, it is very easy. Whatever is after hypothesis will be after if, and whatever is conclusion will be after